working on a project. Part of the way through it. It's freaking cold. But this is about the best of the days for the next few days. So you see this wire right here isn't actually attached yet. It's got to finish running that. That's the other powers that's going to go right here. So this is going to be about how to run power wires slash ground wires. Now what I do is I take the cable, there's 25 feet of it, I fold it in half, I loop one end over my brake master cylinder here, just to hold it, and then I run down this way and over close to the frame rail right here and catch the frame rail as I go down. And then I take it on back to where it's going to go. Depending on what you're going to do, if you go that way or if you go through the firewall. If you're pulling two runs, just fold it in half and pull both ends together. That way when you get done back there hooking that end up, you can come back this way and pull the slack back this way, right? Tighten everything up as you go, and then you end up with one piece of wire left over as an extra for future uses. You're not butchering up a bunch of wire to run two runs. You end up with one continuous piece. When you get the wire to where you're going to go through the middle, no matter whether it's a power wire or a ground wire, you're going to want to use grommets like these. So you drill your hole, push it through, the cap on there, that locks it to the metal. Then this part right here, you put your wire through here, and this part cranks down, and as it does, it makes the seal in this area smaller, which locks down onto the wire. So the metal goes right in here, and then this space right here is for the nut to be able to clamp down on your wire and hold it in place. And the good ones will lock down nice and tight. Now, I'm going to use a step bit, which is what I used last time. I have a bit of a mess here that's about to be cleaned up, but I already know where my gas tank is, and I know that I'm clear of it right here. And that's why I go this route. Alright, got the poor man's creeper down here. Big old bicycle box. Now I just got to get my booty up under there. I'm kind of like an old dog. I pace around it and bark at it a bit, and then I go for it. Now, you can see my two new candidates right there. There's one over here that don't count, but the one there and the one there. Now what I gotta do is get my wire, put my ring on the wire so we don't screw that up, because I got no one holding the other end of this thing. So I'm getting one of my wires here, and I'll put the ring on the wire like that, the nut, and then we're going to run it through here. And I want to try to get this nut started. I have the other nut in my mouth, by the way. I can't hold a phone and do this. You guys will have to take my word for it. Alright, so then we get our wire in there. I got the nut started. And we're just going to pull our slack up in there. This direction for now. And I got to do the other one yet. Then we'll get outside, figure out how we're going to run, what we're going to do. I've only got a couple of ties holding it right now. I'm going to add more after we get it in position. But yeah, do the other side. All right, they're both running through the holes in the grommets. I gotta get up under here and do the other stuff. All right, you see both of them. Well, technically all four of them, my old ones and these, are running through those grommets. Nice and sealed up. Now, of course, my grommets aren't sealed up on the old blue ones, and my whole floor's got holes in it. The point is, the wire's not going to short out the ground or get torn up by going through that metal. It's going to be safe and secure and insulated. So again, how we're doing this, I'm going to be taking this fuse box out right here, these two, and putting a 4-spot mega fuse there. Then I'm going to be building the lugs onto these, attaching these and these to this side of the mega fuse. When I get done with that and get that all sorted, then I'm going to pull the slack back this way to get it all lined up here and to take all the slack forward to the front. And then up here, this loop will get even longer. It's really long enough right now, but I want all the slack in the front because I'm going to pull it out to where it needs to go, and then I can cut it off, drop them back, and make my lugs for these up here. And I'll have one piece left at the end. It's exactly the amount that I didn't need for the whole double run. You know, having all your scrap in one chunk is always cool. Now what we're using to fuse the whole system, front and back, is this guy here. I got one of these in the front, and I liked it so much I ordered another one. And the kit comes with 4 mega fuses in the amperage of your choice. I chose, well, those aren't the ones that are supposed to be in here. I chose 400, but I do have some more fuses. So I got some fuses I can't use. Wait a minute, maybe there's, yeah, okay, they put them in there. All right, so there's, kind of confused, there's 3 400s and 3 100s. What the hell? But anyway, oh, there they are, they're down at the bottom. So they gave me the 100s that come in it, and they gave me the 400s that I asked for. So what they did is they gave me extra. Oh no, wait, here we go. So I got 4 100s and 4 400s. Anyway, like I said, I always unbox. I unbox it as I unbox it. I don't plan this shit. I do like these fuse box. Yeah, screw thing here that comes out, and then when you take this all the way out, the whole top comes off. It's not captured, unfortunately. That'd be the only thing I would change. But you get in, you come in from, in this case, I'll come in from the front, hit these, which will fuse each individual wire, and then they'll all join together. You can take this bar off, by the way, but I'm leaving it on. So you can have the wire coming in, fuse wire, and then all the connections together load back up on the same block and go out to the battery bank in the back. So that's how this works. And of course also to the distribution for the amplifier. The position of this thing is going to be dictated by those 2 green wires right there. Now what I'm doing is, I'm probably not have the right wrench. Nope, I do not. I need to get a different wrench. Anyway, I'm going to connect those 4 wires to this side of the fuse bank, the other 4 wires to the other side. You'll see. The only thing with these mega fuses is the way they go on. They have a hole on both ends, not a slot. So you have to you got to attach them over the bolts. So everything has to come off. Still ain't nowhere in there dry. It's probably not going to dry worth a shit, but it'll dry good enough. I can fix all that up later. So those green wires are the ones that are determining my position. And I do have to put the hardware on these. So I need to put the washers, the big washers on. That way I can put the rest of the hardware goes on top of that. These are the screws that I prefer using. Our little black pan heads, like 3/4 inch I think, or 1 inch. I love using these for all sorts of stuff. Highly recommend getting a box of these to keep in your stash. Now we'll do a test fit, test tickle. That's a little bit tight. Bottom one will go on no problem. The top one will too, but it's a little tight. Let's get the last one in here. And we got everything in position, locked down. All right. Now we've got a secure amp block, or fuse block. Slip the washers on. This side will get mounted properly in this next phase. And then we'll worry about the other side. Yeah, with our 13mm wrench. Got all the hardware in my hand like an idiot. I think it worked there. Also worked there. Where do these guys want to go? Probably go just about wherever I put them. Yeah, this one likes this bolt right here, so we're going to put it on that bolt. I'm going to need to do this all at once because it's kind of jumpy, so I'm going to need to have everything ready. I do this. This one's kind of jumpy. It wants to get sideways and slide back off and all that nonsense. We'll put our nut on there, and then it won't be able to do all that stupid stuff it would want to do. Okay. And we got that snug. Let's figure out where the next ones are going to go. I think we can do that. I think I kind of like that. Having those two in the middle. It's kind of cool. The other one I can slide up behind it, I think. And get to that other fuse. can't stand up, y'all. And my damn cold fingers don't want to do the thing. There we go. Cold fingers. Cold fingers. She's got cold fingers. That's one of them 1960s dirty songs, I guarantee you. She's got cold fingers. Some whole freaking country song. Old dirty country song from back in the 60s and 70s. Son, they had some crazy stuff. You don't believe me, just look up Shucking My Corn. That's a good one. And I know that's on YouTube. I found it one day. That's a song from my childhood. Old John's got a farm right next to mine. Yeah, we've been neighbors a long, long time. Time old John never comes around, but I've seen his footsteps on my ground. Old John's got a woman, but he wants mine too. Just ain't nothing old John won't do. There's a monkey in the woodpile, sure as she born. I think old John's been a-shucking my corn. Shuck. Shuck. Yeah, I know. I got jokes. All right, now all I need to do is tighten that side up, and those will be permanent. Whew. All right. Got part of them on there. And that's going to sit just like that. It's going to work out just perfect. Now, hindsight being 20/20 and all that, I'm going to give you guys the benefit of me figuring something out that I should have did. So if you're running it, you can do it ahead of time. On the ends that come down here that go to this block, I could have put these lugs and heat shrinks and everything on these ends. That way, whenever I had them all pulled into position, I could have just bolted them up and backed them off, and then only had to do the other two lugs and heat sinks in the engine bay. I could have done these in the house, had them all ready to go. Just thinking about it ahead of time, trying to get your order of operations and keep it in mind. I work hard at that, but I don't catch everything. So if you're doing the same thing I am, go ahead and put your lugs on this end, because these are going to stay the same. If you do it right, you'll pull them through, clip them, hook them up, put a bolt, a nut on them, back them up into the under the hood where you have all your slack, cut that one piece out, put those two lugs on under the hood. Bob's your uncle. Get back under there and zip tie everything up good and tight. Anyway, that's what it is.